As we age, our nutritional needs evolve, and what we eat plays a more critical role in our long-term health. For individuals over 60, maintaining heart health, cognitive function, and a strong immune system becomes especially important. And surprisingly, the type of cheese you consume can significantly impact those goals. While some cheeses can support healthy aging, others pose serious health risks and should be avoided entirely. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition indicates that consuming the wrong types of cheese can increase the risk of heart disease by up to 40%. This is primarily due to the high levels of saturated fat and sodium found in certain cheeses, which can lead to clogged arteries, high blood pressure, and even small strokes, also known as transient ischemic attacks. Alarmingly, many of the most harmful cheeses are marketed as gourmet or wholesome, misleading many seniors into thinking they're making healthy choices. Furthermore, the risks go beyond heart health. Some cheeses can accelerate cognitive decline, trigger inflammation, or cause blood sugar imbalances. For seniors whose bodies process fats and sodium less efficiently, these issues become even more pressing. One of the most dangerous types of cheese is processed cheese spread, often sold in tubs or foil-wrapped triangles. These products are not just cheese. They are chemical concoctions filled with preservatives, artificial phosphates, and trans fats. These additives contribute to kidney damage, heart problems, and inflammation that can accelerate cognitive decline. Similarly, cream cheese, often perceived as a mild option, is high in saturated fat and sugar while offering little nutritional value. Its soft texture also makes it more susceptible to bacterial contamination, particularly Listeria, which can be deadly for those with weakened immune systems. Blue cheese, although rich in flavor, contains mold-based compounds like tyramine and histamine that can cause blood pressure spikes, migraines, and even arrhythmias in older adults. Its high sodium content and risk of Listeria contamination make it a particularly poor choice for those over 60. American cheese, which is not a natural cheese, but a processed product made with emulsifiers, artificial coloring, and preservatives, is another to avoid. Just one slice can contain up to 15% of the recommended daily sodium intake, increasing the risk of hypertension and negatively affecting gut health. In contrast, there are several cheeses that are not only safe for seniors, but can actually enhance health. Goat cheese ranks as the most beneficial, thanks to its anti-inflammatory properties, high digestibility, and rich supply of probiotics, zinc, and healthy fats. It supports brain function, immune health, and digestion, making it an excellent daily choice. Swiss cheese is another standout, offering high calcium and vitamin B12 levels with very low sodium. Its natural aging process eliminates most lactose, making it ideal for those with dairy sensitivities. Feta cheese, particularly when made from sheep or goat milk, is lower in fat and lactose and rich in probiotics and calcium. It supports digestive and bone health while offering a bold flavor that encourages portion control. Finally, fresh mozzarella, especially buffalo mozzarella, is low in saturated fat and sodium while providing bioactive peptides, antioxidants, and essential minerals. It is easy to digest, heart-friendly, and versatile in meals. In summary, not all cheeses are created equal, especially when it comes to aging bodies. Seniors over 60 should avoid processed cheese spreads, cream cheese, blue cheese, and American cheese due to their harmful additives and negative impact on cardiovascular and cognitive health. Instead, opting for goat cheese, Swiss, feta, and fresh mozzarella can provide not only a flavorful addition to meals, but also support vital health functions. Being selective with your cheese choices could mean the difference between supporting your aging body and unknowingly working against in addition to avoiding specific harmful cheeses after the age of 60. It's crucial to consider how cheese fits into the broader context of senior health, particularly when it comes to maintaining heart function, cognitive sharpness, digestive wellness, and bone density. Many older adults underestimate how profoundly dietary choices, especially seemingly small ones like cheese selection, can impact long-term wellness. The human body, after decades of metabolizing various nutrients, undergoes fundamental changes in how it processes saturated fat, sodium, lactose, and artificial additives. These changes don't happen overnight, but become more evident through symptoms like fatigue, foggy thinking, joint discomfort, and high blood pressure. Often dismissed as just getting older, but frequently triggered or worsened by poor dietary habits. That's why understanding not only what cheeses to avoid, but also how to use healthier cheese options as functional foods can be transformative. For instance, incorporating goat cheese into a breakfast omelet with vegetables can reduce post-meal inflammation while providing high-quality protein and essential minerals like selenium and zinc. Likewise, pairing Swiss cheese with whole grain crackers or fresh fruit can become a nutrient-dense snack that supports bone and cardiovascular health. But cheese alone isn't the whole story. To truly harness its benefits while minimizing its risks, seniors must adopt a holistic approach that includes managing portion sizes, reading labels, choosing organic or grass-fed sources when possible, and balancing cheese intake with hydrating fruits, high-fiber vegetables, and heart-healthy fats like olive oil and avocado. For example, combining a modest amount of feta with watermelon and mint not only balances sodium with hydration and antioxidants, but also makes for a refreshing, gut-friendly dish. Moreover, seniors should consider how cheese fits into their weekly nutrition patterns. Rather than using cheese as a daily staple in every meal, it may be more beneficial to enjoy it purposefully 2 or 3 times a week, ensuring that it complements rather than dominates the plate. Moderation remains the golden rule. This applies even to so-called healthy cheeses, because overconsumption of even the best options can contribute to caloric surplus or digestive discomfort. It's also important to remember that cheese is not just a nutritional substance. It's a cultural one. Many seniors associate it with tradition, family meals, or comfort food. So instead of abrupt elimination, a more sustainable and emotionally satisfying approach is gradual substitution and creative reimagining. For example, replacing a cream cheese spread on a bagel with a whipped avocado and a small amount of fresh goat cheese delivers creaminess and flavor with added fiber, potassium, and heart-healthy monounsaturated fats. Beyond food combinations, timing and preparation also matter. Eating cheese earlier in the day gives your body more time to metabolize its fats and salts before rest. Pairing it with herbal teas or water-rich foods can support digestion and kidney function. When shopping, seniors should prioritize cheeses from reputable brands with transparent sourcing and minimal ingredient lists, ideally fewer than 5. Words like aged, raw, organic, unpasteurized, or traditional may seem appealing, but they must be examined carefully. For those with immune compromise or existing health conditions, unpasteurized or mold-ripened cheeses carry real risks of bacterial contamination and should generally be avoided unless advised otherwise by a healthcare provider. Additionally, watching out for hidden sugars in flavored or low-fat cheese products is vital since they can aggravate insulin resistance, which becomes more common with age. Another overlooked aspect of cheese and aging is its interaction with medications. Certain cheeses high in tyramine, like blue cheese or aged cheddar, can interfere with monoamine oxidase inhibitors, MAOIs, commonly prescribed for depression or Parkinson's. This can lead to dangerous spikes in blood pressure or neurological effects. Seniors should routinely review their diet with their doctor or a registered dietitian to avoid such conflicts. And finally, the psychological dimension of food cannot be ignored. When cheese is consumed mindfully, savored rather than devoured in haste, it contributes not just to physical nourishment, but also to joy and mental well-being. Chewing slowly, eating in a peaceful environment, and treating meals as opportunities for connection and enjoyment can greatly improve digestion and emotional satisfaction, both of which are key to aging gracefully. In conclusion, cheese can be a valuable ally or a subtle adversary in senior health, depending on the choices you make. By avoiding the most harmful types, integrating functional cheeses like goat, Swiss, feta, and fresh mozzarella, and adopting a broader lifestyle approach that supports digestion, brain health, and cardiovascular resilience, seniors can continue to enjoy this beloved food without compromising their well-being. The key lies not in restriction, but in intention. Choosing wisely, eating purposefully, and respecting the profound influence that food exerts over health in the later stages of life. Building on the importance of intentional eating and wise food choices in later life, it's essential to recognize that maintaining health after 60 is not just about eliminating harmful foods like processed or high-sodium cheeses, but also about embracing a broader, sustainable nutritional philosophy that prioritizes balance, diversity, and preventative care. One of the most underestimated yet powerful strategies for seniors is the integration of anti-inflammatory foods into their regular diet, a category that certain types of cheese can complement when paired thoughtfully. Chronic inflammation is increasingly recognized as a silent driver behind many age-related diseases, including arthritis, cardiovascular conditions, and cognitive decline. By combining anti-inflammatory foods like turmeric, ginger, berries, leafy greens, and omega-3 rich fish with functional cheeses such as soft goat cheese or partskim ricotta, seniors can build meals that not only nourish but actively protect the body from cellular damage. Furthermore, it's important to understand how gut health, often overlooked, becomes especially critical with aging. The gut microbiome plays a central role in immune regulation, mental clarity, and nutrient absorption, yet can become disrupted by a lifetime of antibiotic use, stress, or processed food intake. Here, fermented cheeses such as kefir cheese or probiotic-rich options like some types of yogurt cheese, labna, can help restore microbial balance, especially when consumed with prebiotic fibers found in foods like garlic, onions, bananas, and oats. These combinations not only support digestive efficiency, but also contribute to greater energy levels, mental focus, and emotional stability, all of which tend to decline subtly after 60 if left unaddressed. Another crucial layer to explore is bone health. Something cheese is often associated with due to its calcium content, but again, the source and type matter greatly. Calcium alone is insufficient without adequate levels of vitamin D, magnesium, and vitamin K2, all of which are vital for calcium absorption and proper bone mineralization. Some aged cheeses, like Gouda and Edam, naturally contain vitamin K2, making them excellent choices when consumed in moderation. However, they should still be balanced with magnesium-rich foods like pumpkin seeds or dark leafy greens to ensure optimal skeletal support. Beyond physical health, emotional and cognitive well-being in seniors can also be subtly supported through dietary patterns. The gut-brain axis, a bidirectional communication system between the gastrointestinal tract and the brain, means that what you eat has a direct impact on how you feel and think. In this light, cheese should be seen not merely as an indulgence or a protein source, but as a tool to be strategically used within a broader mental wellness plan. For example, tryptophan, an amino acid found in many dairy products, contributes to serotonin production, which supports mood regulation and sleep quality, two areas where many seniors struggle. But for this to be effective, tryptophan needs cofactors like vitamin B6 and magnesium, again underscoring the need for a balanced, diverse plate. On a lifestyle level, the social rituals around food can't be ignored. For many older adults, food is one of the last remaining forms of creative expression and connection. Cooking with loved ones, sharing meals with friends, or even experimenting with new recipes alone can reignite a sense of purpose and engagement. Introducing healthier cheese options into these experiences, like making a Mediterranean-inspired platter with olives, hummus, cherry tomatoes, and a small serving of feta, not only boosts nutritional intake, but also strengthens emotional bonds and reduces feelings of isolation, which are common but dangerous in older populations. Additionally, food literacy becomes increasingly important with age. Learning how to read labels, understand food sourcing, and evaluate marketing claims is not just empowering. It's a form of self-defense against a system that often prioritizes profit over health. Seniors should be wary of terms like cheese product or cheese food, which often indicate heavily processed items filled with emulsifiers, colorings, and preservatives that can burden aging organs and impair metabolic function. A simple rule of thumb is to choose cheeses that list only milk, salt, enzymes, and cultures as ingredients, and to avoid anything with artificial flavors, synthetic vitamins, or hydrogenated oils. For those concerned with weight management or metabolic health, it's worth noting that high-fat cheeses can be included in a low-carb or Mediterranean diet to help regulate blood sugar, especially when used in place of refined carbohydrates or sugary snacks. But this requires precise portion control, an ounce or two at most, and strategic placement within meals that include ample vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Finally, no discussion of senior health and cheese would be complete without addressing the spiritual and psychological aspects of eating well. As people age, the meaning of food often shifts from a tool of energy or performance to a source of memory, comfort, and dignity. The act of choosing a good cheese, slicing it carefully, savoring it slowly with a piece of fruit or fresh bread, and pairing it with a cup of herbal tea becomes more than nourishment. It becomes a ritual of self-care, a quiet rebellion against the chaos of modern eating, and a reminder that aging does not mean giving up pleasure, but rather redefining it in wiser, more sustainable ways. As this holistic approach to aging through mindful nutrition continues to unfold, it becomes clear that the journey toward well-being after 60 is deeply interwoven with not only the food on one's plate, but also the values, habits, and rhythms that shape daily life. Beyond cheese and the broader dietary themes already discussed, hydration emerges as another pivotal yet often underestimated pillar of health that must be addressed with equal seriousness. As we age, the body's natural thirst mechanism becomes less sensitive, making older adults more vulnerable to chronic dehydration, which can manifest subtly through fatigue, confusion, constipation, or joint stiffness. This makes it vital to cultivate hydration routines that are both habitual and enjoyable, incorporating herbal teas, infused waters, broths, and water-rich fruits like watermelon or cucumber throughout the day. But hydration isn't just about fluid, it's also about electrolytes and mineral balance, which again ties back to food choices. Foods rich in potassium and magnesium, such as avocado, spinach, or even small amounts of unsalted cheese, can help maintain this equilibrium, particularly when physical activity is included as part of the wellness strategy. Movement, in fact, deserves its own spotlight in the narrative of senior health. Nutritional choices are only one side of the coin. The other is how the body is used and challenged regularly to maintain muscle tone, bone density, cardiovascular health, and emotional resilience. Walking, tai chi, water aerobics, or gentle resistance training can dramatically improve balance and reduce fall risk, a serious concern in the elderly. But more importantly, physical activity enhances insulin sensitivity, supports cognitive clarity, and often prompts better dietary decisions, creating a reinforcing cycle of vitality. Food and movement also tie into sleep quality, which is another cornerstone of healthy aging that is deeply influenced by both. A well-chosen evening snack that includes complex carbohydrates and a bit of protein, such as a whole grain cracker with a smear of ricotta, can promote the release of serotonin and melatonin, easing the transition to restful sleep. Without restorative sleep, even the best dietary efforts may fall short, as the body lacks the time and biochemical environment it needs to repair tissue, regulate hormones, and consolidate memory. And so the web of interconnected choices continues to grow. Food influences movement, movement influences sleep, sleep influences mood, and mood influences food choices again. It is this holistic, circular view of health that becomes increasingly important with age. Yet within this framework, personal history and cultural identity also play a significant role, especially in how individuals relate to food. Seniors often carry decades of culinary memory, recipes passed down, meals shared during pivotal life moments, ingredients that remind them of youth, heritage, or distant loved ones. Honoring these food traditions while adapting them for modern health needs is a deeply satisfying way to maintain both physical and emotional well-being. For example, someone with Italian heritage might recreate a beloved lasagna recipe using whole grain noodles, homemade tomato sauce, lean ground turkey, and a light layer of part-skim mozzarella. retaining the essence of the dish while making it more heart-healthy. In the same way, someone from a Vietnamese background might continue to enjoy pH, adjusting the broth to be lower in sodium and using tofu or lean cuts of beef, pairing it with abundant herbs and vegetables. These modifications are not sacrifices. They are evolutions that allow the past to support the present and future. This brings us to the crucial concept of adaptability. The most successful aging strategies are not rigid regimens, but flexible frameworks that can shift with changing medical needs, personal goals, or even life circumstances. A person recovering from surgery may need more protein and calorie-dense foods, while someone managing type 2 diabetes might prioritize low-glycemic meals with plenty of fiber and minimal sugar. Cheese, in this adaptable mindset, becomes neither enemy nor panacea, but a tool, sometimes included, sometimes avoided, always considered thoughtfully. In this way, the senior years can become a period not of decline, but of refinement, where each choice, what to eat, how to move, when to rest, whom to share a meal with, becomes an act of quiet mastery, a testament to all the knowledge gathered through a life well lived. And as this cycle continues, it's not about achieving perfection, but about building sustainable patterns that align with individual values and capacities. Ultimately, the power lies not in any single food, rule, or supplement, but in the harmony of choices made with awareness, compassion, and respect for one's evolving needs. This is the true art of aging, and it is an art worth practicing every day, with every bite, every breath, every step, as we delve deeper into the evolving narrative of aging gracefully. The theme of interconnected wellness extends even further beyond individual choices and begins to encompass the broader social and environmental influences that shape the aging experience. One of the most profound, yet often overlooked aspects is the role of community and social connection in maintaining not just emotional vitality, but also physical and cognitive health. Numerous studies now confirm what many seniors intuitively know: that loneliness can be as detrimental to health as smoking or obesity, increasing the risk of depression, cognitive decline, and even cardiovascular disease. Therefore, cultivating meaningful relationships becomes not just a source of joy, but a critical element of preventive health. Shared meals, for instance, offer more than nutrition. They provide conversation, laughter, memory, and cultural continuity. Whether it's participating in a neighborhood potluck, a faith-based gathering, or even an online cooking class, these social rituals support mental well-being in ways that a solitary multivitamin cannot. And within these shared spaces, food regains its role as a communal act of care. Each dish prepared or received an expression of love and inclusion. For seniors who may be homebound or dealing with mobility limitations, technology can be a lifeline, offering not only access to information, but also to community through video calls, virtual exercise classes, or support groups. This integration of digital tools with lifestyle habits creates a bridge between generations, allowing older adults to remain active participants in the world around them. But just as technology can enhance engagement, so too can the physical environment contribute to, or detract from, healthful aging. A senior-friendly kitchen, for example, with pull-out drawers, non-slip mats, and easy-access storage can encourage continued meal preparation, reinforcing autonomy and dignity. Likewise, living spaces designed with natural light, quiet corners, and safe walking areas can support better sleep, lower stress levels, and promote movement. Urban planning that includes parks, sidewalks, and community gardens allows older adults to interact with nature and neighbors alike, reinforcing the holistic cycle of health. And nature itself offers deep therapeutic value. Time spent in green spaces has been shown to reduce blood pressure, improve mood, and enhance immune function. A simple habit, such as morning walks through a park, paired with mindful breathing or light stretching, can yield profound cumulative benefits over time. In this broader view, aging is no longer a private affair, but a community-supported process, one that involves infrastructure, culture, and policy as much as it does personal choices. It is also in this phase of life that the idea of purpose becomes especially vital. When careers wind down and families grow up, seniors are often faced with the question, what now? The answer may lie in service, creativity, or continued learning. Volunteering, writing memoirs, mentoring youth, or engaging in artistic pursuits are all ways that older adults can continue to grow, contribute, and find meaning. This sense of purpose in turn reinforces physical health, with studies linking it to better sleep, lower inflammation, and even increased lifespan. And once again, food plays a role here, both as a metaphor and a medium. Cooking with a grandchild, teaching a traditional recipe, or growing herbs in a windowsill garden becomes a way to transmit legacy, wisdom, and love. It also grounds the senior in a daily rhythm that supports routine, another key factor in long-term wellness. A predictable schedule of meals, movement, rest, and interaction helps regulate the body's internal clock, improving digestion, sleep quality, and emotional stability. The role of spirituality or inner reflection also often becomes more central with age. Whether through organized religion, meditation, or quiet contemplation, many seniors find peace and resilience in connecting to something greater than themselves. This inner life can guide decisions around food, activity, and relationships, nudging them toward choices that feel not only healthful but also meaningful. For example, someone may choose to adopt a more plant-based diet not only for health reasons, but also as an expression of compassion or environmental stewardship. Similarly, fasting or mindful eating may become spiritual practices that bring clarity and gratitude to daily life. In this light, aging becomes a deeply integrative process, where every element from nutrition to spirituality, from community to technology, weaves together into a rich, evolving tapestry of health. It is no longer about chasing youth, but about honoring life as it is now, with all its accumulated wisdom, complexity, and possibility. Each day becomes an opportunity to nourish the body with wholesome foods, the mind with fresh ideas, the heart with connection, and the spirit with purpose. And in doing so, aging transforms from a challenge to be feared into a journey to be embraced, one delicious, intentional moment at a time. This ever-deepening journey of aging, now enriched by purpose, connection, and spiritual alignment, reveals yet another vital layer: adaptability. As bodies change and the pace of life shifts, so too must our approach to daily living evolve with grace and flexibility. Adaptability is not merely about adjusting to physical limitations, but about cultivating a mindset that embraces change as an inherent part of the aging process. A flexible approach to diet, for example, allows older adults to honor their nutritional needs without becoming rigid or overwhelmed by trends. Instead of chasing perfection, the goal becomes consistency, nourishing meals that are easy to prepare, gentle on digestion, and rich in flavor and meaning. This might look like favoring warm, comforting soups over raw salads, choosing soft-cooked vegetables that are easier to chew, or blending fruit smoothies to enhance hydration and nutrient intake without overburdening the digestive system. Adapting recipes from one's past to suit current health needs also preserve tradition while supporting wellness. In this way, adaptability becomes a bridge between past and present, a way to carry one's history forward into each new chapter with wisdom and practicality. It also plays a critical role in physical activity. While high-impact exercise may no longer be feasible, low-impact movements like Tai Chi, water aerobics, or gentle yoga can offer strength, balance, and mobility. Even daily tasks such as gardening, sweeping, or dancing in the kitchen become opportunities for joyful movement when approached mindfully. Moreover, the ability to adapt extends into the emotional realm. Life in later years inevitably includes moments of grief, change, and letting go of loved ones, homes, roles, or long-held expectations. Emotional adaptability, supported by self-compassion and community, becomes a vital tool for navigating these transitions without losing one's sense of self. It allows the heart to stay open, resilient, and receptive to new experiences, even amid loss. Maintaining a journal, practicing gratitude, or simply allowing time for quiet reflection can help process emotions and foster inner peace. Adaptability also enhances cognitive health. Lifelong learning, whether through books, puzzles, language classes, or online lectures, keeps the mind agile and curious. Staying mentally active doesn't mean adhering to formal education. It can be as simple as engaging in a new hobby, exploring music from a different culture, or learning to use a new device. This kind of curiosity nourishes the brain and keeps neural pathways active, slowing cognitive decline and fostering a sense of accomplishment. Importantly, all of these adaptive practices are supported by a foundation of sleep and rest, an often underestimated pillar of elder health. Sleep patterns may shift with age, but quality rest remains essential for healing, memory consolidation, and emotional regulation. Evening routines that signal the body to wind down, such as sipping herbal tea, listening to calming music, or dimming lights, help anchor the circadian rhythm. This, in turn, enhances energy levels, reduces inflammation, and supports overall vitality. Creating a sanctuary for sleep, free from bright screens and excessive noise, transforms rest into a nightly act of self-care. Another area where adaptability proves transformative is in caregiving relationships. Whether receiving care or offering it, navigating this dynamic with openness and respect strengthens bonds and preserves dignity. Seniors who embrace interdependence, who accept help without shame and offer wisdom without judgment, build an ecosystem of mutual support that benefits everyone involved. Caregiving becomes not a burden, but a shared journey of empathy and connection. This relational adaptability nurtures emotional resilience and fosters gratitude on both sides. At a broader level, aging well also involves adapting to the world's evolving landscape. Climate change, technological advancements, and shifting cultural norms all influence the way seniors live and engage. Being open to learning new tools, such as energy-efficient appliances, telehealth platforms, or sustainable cooking practices, not only enhances daily living, but also connects seniors to larger movements of environmental and social responsibility. It gives older adults a role in shaping the future, proving that purpose has no expiration date. Food, again, becomes a medium through which this adaptability expresses itself. Seasonal, local eating not only supports health, but aligns with ecological rhythms. Learning to cook with plant-based ingredients, reducing food waste, and embracing simple, whole food meals contribute to both personal and planetary well-being. Seniors who share these practices with younger generations become torchbearers of sustainable wisdom, offering a model for living that is as kind to the earth as it is to the body. Ultimately, the ability to adapt is what allows aging to be not a slow decline, but an unfolding, a dynamic, vibrant chapter in which change is not feared but welcomed. Every adjustment, every new habit or perspective becomes an opportunity for growth and deeper self-understanding. In this light, aging is no longer about resisting what's inevitable, but about participating fully in the dance of life as it transforms. With each meal, each conversation, each mindful breath, older adults reaffirm their place in the world, not as relics of the past, but as resilient architects of the present, shaping a future defined not by limitations, but by limitless presence, compassion, and wisdom. This journey through aging draws to its final reflections. What ultimately emerges is not a narrative of decline, but one of continued becoming, a testament to the sacredness of time, the resilience of a human spirit, and the quiet strength found in presence. Aging, in its deepest sense, becomes a return to essence. Stripped of societal roles, career ambitions, and the urgency of youth, life in the later years offers a clarity rarely accessible in earlier stages. It is a time when meaning shifts inward, when the soul reclaims its central place in the orchestra of daily living. This inner reorientation transforms how we experience the world, not as a series of demands, but as a series of invitations. To listen more than speak, to savor rather than consume, to witness instead of rush. The world becomes richer in its stillness. A cup of tea is no longer just a beverage. It is a ritual. A breeze across the face is not just wind. It is a messenger of the divine. In this awakened state, older adults often find themselves drawn to simplicity, not as a loss, but as a liberation. Fewer possessions, quieter spaces, slower rhythms. These are not sacrifices, but pathways to peace. The minimalist home, the pared-down wardrobe, the well-worn chair by the window become sacred spaces that reflect an inner spaciousness. Simplicity at this stage is not about doing without, but about doing with intention. Each choice becomes a quiet affirmation. This matters, this nourishes, this brings light. In parallel, connection deepens. Having weathered decades of change, seniors often develop an unparalleled capacity for compassion. They know what it means to lose, to begin again, to forgive. This wisdom softens judgment and invites curiosity. Friendships take on new depth, no longer defined by shared ambition, but by shared humanity. Grandchildren, neighbors, caregivers, and even passing acquaintances become threads in a rich tapestry of relationship. Elders become anchors in their communities, storytellers, listeners, peacemakers, offering a sense of continuity in an ever-accelerating world. And this relational richness feeds the spirit. Whether through faith, meditation, prayer, or quiet awe, spiritual connection often flourishes in old age. It is no longer tethered to dogma or performance, but becomes an intimate dialogue with the mystery of existence. This spiritual presence infuses the everyday with wonder. The sound of birds at dawn, the feel of warm sunlight on aging skin, the taste of a simple meal lovingly prepared. In these moments, the veil thins. Life is no longer something to master or conquer. It is something to behold, to honor, to bless. And with this reverence comes acceptance. Aging with grace means releasing the need for control, for certainty, for permanence. It means blessing the scars, the laugh lines, the slower steps. It means holding space for grief while choosing joy. It means trusting that one's existence, even in silence or solitude, continues to matter to the family, to the community, to the cosmos itself. This surrender is not defeat, it is transcendence. It is the soul finally unburdened, free to shine through every gesture, every breath, every goodbye. For in the end, aging teaches us that nothing essential is ever lost. Memories may fade, bodies may weaken, but the essence, the love we've given, the truth we've lived, the kindness we've extended, these remain. They ripple outward, touching lives we'll never know, carried forward in stories, traditions, and silent acts of grace. And perhaps this is the great gift of old age, the chance to see that we were always part of something larger, something eternal. As this final chapter unfolds, it invites not fear but awe. For those who have embraced the slow, the mindful, the meaningful, death is not an end. It is a homecoming, a return to the source from which all things arise, a deep exhale into the mystery. And so, with full hearts and open hands, we give thanks for the elders among us, for their courage, their beauty, their truth. May we listen to them, may we honor them, and may we follow their example, aging not just with years, but with grace, dignity, and light.